What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and this is my DraftKings Showdown breakdown for tonight's Monday Night Football game between the New Orleans Saints and the Los Angeles Chargers. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all of our other content goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman so you can get updates to these sim results as we get closer to lock. And finally, let me know in the comments section who are your favorite options at captain and at utility for tonight's game. Some of the high-level information. Average fantasy points scored in the optimal, 144.7. Median salary used, 49,100. Little bit of value out there, but nothing too crazy. Average Saints in the winning lineup, 3.5. Chargers, just 2.5. Surprised by that gap. That's the biggest we've seen in a while. Saints are 7-point favorites entering the game, 50-point game total. We should expect some fireworks. I'm excited to dive in. Let's take a look at the captains. All right, first up at the captain spot. Now, we do not have public ownership at this time, so I can just go over the guys that grade out the best. And starting at the top, and it's not even close, Alvin Kamara, 18K at the captain spot, shows up in the optimal 30% of the time. That is the highest number by a mile. Next closest guy is Keenan Allen at 14-1. So Kamara well outpacing the rest of the field. Pay attention to his ownership. If that number gets well north of 30, try to get a little bit different. If it's well under 30, then feel free to jam Kamara like crazy. As I mentioned, Keenan Allen at 14-1 is my second favorite captain option. You can drop down even a little bit further. Emmanuel Sanders and Drew Brees both have the same captain odds. So if you need to save a little money, go to Sanders at 8,400. If you have a little bit more money to spare, given your different utility plays, you can go up to Drew Brees at 15.6. Both guys are in the optimal captain spot the same amount of time, 10%. Other guy, Justin Herbert, 8%. Traquan Smith, 7%. Mike Williams, 6%. Other guys, Lat Murray, 3.5. Will Lutz, 3.5. Really, you're going to be focusing on Alvin Kamara, Keenan Allen, Emmanuel Sanders, and Drew Brees. Now, the waters are a little bit muddier at the utility spot. Those are the spots where ownership plays the biggest role. Alvin Kamara, no surprise here. He is at the top again. He's 12K in the utility spot. 56.4% of the time, he is in the optimal lineup in utility. You're basically going to be playing a lot of Kamara. With no Michael Thomas, he's just going to get so many touches and opportunities. Really hard for him to fail aggressively. After that, Drew Brees is second, 46.5%. Justin Herbert is third, 41.5%. All three of these guys shouldn't be surprising you at all. This is the utility spot. They are going to be most involved. They have the three highest projections by far. Those are the top three guys. Then we get into a big crop of guys in the 30s. The 30% chance of being in the optimal, that is. So Keenan Allen at 9,400, Traquan Smith at 7K, Emmanuel Sanders, Mike Williams, Lat Murray, all in the 48 to 5,600 range. All these guys showing up somewhere in like the 33 to 37% range. You know, one out of every 3 times you're going to see one of these guys in the lineup. So as you start adding those together, you know, you're figuring you're going to get 2 out of those 4 or 3 out of those 5. But it's Allen, Traquan Smith, Emmanuel Sanders, Mike Williams, Lat Murray. Step down a little bit. Will Lutz is 30% on the dot at 4K. Michael Badgley, 25.8%, 3,800. The 8s there were slowing me down. It happens. It's early. It's Monday morning, guys. I'm on coffee number half. I mean, I've got like 36 more ounces to go. If you need to save a little bit more money, Marquez Callaway, $600. He's the guy that stands out most to me right now. Shows up in the optimal spot 14% of the time. I think he goes really well with the Alvin Kamara captain. You know, you've got Drew Brees at utility. Maybe you even have like Keenan Allen at utility too, and you need to save a bunch of salary. Marquez Callaway is the guy that I'm looking at. Now, it's hard to talk about fades without public ownership, so I can only give guys that I think will be close to fades. So Josh Kelly at captain, 12-3, only shows up in that spot 2% of the time. Seems to be too expensive. Hunter Henry, 11-7 in the captain spot, only shows up there 1.2% of the time. I assume that is a guy that you're trying to avoid. Again, too expensive. Jared Cook, 9,300 if he's playing, not interested. If I head over to the utility spot, This is where I would want to just keep an eye on Josh Kelley and Hunter Henry's ownership. They show up in the optimal about 25% of the time. If that ownership is significantly lower, then I think that that's an interesting way to sort of pay up a little bit to be contrarian. If it's higher, that makes them easy fades. I once again think that Jared Cook is an easy fade. Other than that, I don't have anybody that just immediately jumps out. Saints D looks a lot better than the Chargers D. Chargers D only showed up in the optimal 6% of the time, so you can largely ignore that. If people try to play the Saints more aggressively, I wouldn't want to go over like the 18% mark. But ultimately, biggest fades for me are going to be Josh Kelley, Hunter Henry in the captain spot. At utility, we kind of got to wait until public ownership comes out. That's why you should follow me on Twitter so you can get the updates when I post the tweets. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. That is my DraftKings Showdown breakdown for Monday Night Football, Saints and Chargers. Be sure to hit that like button. It means the world to me to watch those likes climb. Subscribe to the channel, notification bell. You guys know the drill. Sign up at awesemo.com/join. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman and let me know in the comments who are your favorite plays for Monday Night Football. I'll be back for Thursday Night Football, so it's a couple days off of NFL content. Find the FanDuel video link somewhere around here. Click it and go watch. Good luck tonight. I'll talk to you again later on.